And we're live.
Again. Okay.
Is it palm out?
It's palm out.
It's got to be this way.
This is Hebrew. It really is. It means live long and prosper.
All right. Sorry, guys. It was
Not this hand.
We were trying something new. Didn't work.
Did not work.
You know what? And for the first live stream ever, it's not Evan's fault.
It is not my fault
No.
this time.
He did a good job today. We're proud of him.
Partially Evan's fault.
It's
mostly Evan's fault.
It's mostly technology's fault.
It is. It's little simple designer problems.
Yeah.
We're trying to add new things to this, make it a little bit.
We want it to be fun for you guys.
Yeah. And we're having some issues. So
yeah. We just got done. I was reading my crystal ball. Figured I'd come out here, get ready to get going on our Star Trek live. Did you tag me?
I did.
All right. Well, why don't you tell them what we got?
Well, we were in touch with Eaglemoss for the last couple, weeks, and talking to them, and they're going to they're supplying us with some great stuff for Alien Day, which is next week, next Wednesday, right? Next Wednesday. So we're gonna be doing a special live
big time giveaway,
monster giveaway. Now, if we just move Evan to the side right here, we don't want to completely give it away, but it is right here. It is 12 and a half inches tall. It's a lot of fun, and this is going to be something that we're going to come up with a really good trivia question that the junkies can answer, and then we're going to give it away. But we're not going to give that away until the very end next week on Alien Day. But because Eaglemoss is super nice, they sent us a very large selection of Star Trek starships. So we thought we'd open these up. We have not touched what's inside these boxes. We're going to give 2 away. So pay attention because we're going to do some trivia questions.
Yes, we are.
And another thing that Eaglemoss does is they actually have magazines with like all different kinds of breakdowns of the characters and not so much the actors, but so much what their character backstories are, and lots of interesting details about the ships as well. What kind of class the ship is.
It's a really high quality magazine too. I mean, for what that's worth, it's not like one of those flimsy.
Yeah,
you get one of those with every one of them.
Right, and we have some other Eaglemoss stuff coming up for Batman Day, and you're going to get an issue of this as well in the Batman Day busts that we're going to be unboxing on Batman Day, which is May 1st. So there is no Star Trek Day, and not as far as I think maybe it's the founding of the Federation Day. I think that's what Star Trek Day is. But we thought, let's tackle some Star Trek.
This was much too cool to wait.
Right.
To figure out whatever other day we could do it. We wanted to do it as soon as we found out that we had it.
Right. And believe it or not, with all the stuff that we have behind us, we don't have anything out that's Star Trek. We do have a Playmates tricorder right here that I brought from home. This is a great $2 find at a yard sale that I found, and it actually worked. So we brought that out just to decorate the set a little bit, but we don't have anything Trek. So let's open some of these boxes here. Now we're going to start with we'll start with Voyager. Let's start off with the sort of the black sheep of the Star Trek franchise. I don't know. Maybe what do you think? You think Enterprise is better than Voyager, or do you think
I liked Voyager?
I think Voyager came into its own 1 7 of 9.
So, yeah, I think it's a 7 and 9 thing for me.
This is Star Trek is a world that I don't really know. So
like most things.
I'm not surprising anyone. I'm
Can
just
you
saying.
stop setting us up to make fun of you?
Right.
It's too easy.
So Matthew says no Star Trek Day, but First Contact Day just passed.
We did, and I think even NASA acknowledged First Contact Day, which I thought was pretty good. Sephram Cochrane and his flight.
Such another good joke. I'm going to leave it on the table.
Okay, so we've got a very solid box here from Eaglemoss, and the Voyager is actually encased in styrofoam, so I'm going to be
nice.
This is nice for shipping.
Oh, watch out!
Is it coming?
Yeah, but you've got. Hold on.
I'm a little shy.
Yeah, you got to go.
I got it. So we have a stand here for the ship. We have the base, which is very heavy duty. Actually, you can handle the base. And now we're going to bring it out. Ooh! This is a solid piece here, very heavy.
Oh wow!
And as you can see, it has a...
Oh, and it's weighted, too, so it fits nice on the stand.
It has a nice little... This is great for storaging and shipping, and it's going to be well secured once it's inside its frame here. Put that off to the side, actually. This is...
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it feels very heavy.
It feels solid.
I'm not really sure which way this goes in this way.
Well, the noob's dealing with that. So bring it in close. Let's see here. I'll give you a nice little forward shot.
Looks great. Here, I'll come over.
So like this. Look at the details here. Get the noob to hold it there. Yeah, I'm interested to see how this goes. No instructions. So that's something, I don't know, maybe we could say,
Yeah.
But I'm sure once we get the ship in there, it's going to...
I think it's going to sit direct in the center. Why don't you give that a shot, Evan?
Seems like a terrible idea.
Oh, come on.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it doesn't go that way.
Other way. There you go. Nope. Okay. Now I know why.
Okay.
Pull it out.
It's backwards. Got it.
We had the Star Trek guy not doing the Star Trek thing.
Okay. Now go for it. Nope. You had it. Yep. There you go.
Oh, Evan, you want to take that away? So, as you can see here, we'll hold this up. The frame itself, it slides into it this way. So, because of the weight of the ship, and it is very top-heavy, the top half here, it does support it perfectly, actually. And I really got to say, I love that.
I think at the end of the day, I'd rather it be this way than have some unnecessary notch in the ship
underneath it
for the stand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you can pull that sucker out, and you're going to see this is a spot-on model.
Yeah.
I mean, underneath.
I mean, it has even has the shellcraft, like, cargo bays in the back. It has a lot of like ridges and details. This isn't paint. This is very it's like a ceramic piece. We even have bumps here.
Yeah, I wonder, does it say, like, I guess we can find out. I don't know what that's made of, but I don't believe it's just plastic because it has, is it like resin? That's a beauty. I mean, I got to bring this around so you guys can see it. And Jason, good to know about Captain Picard Day. We're definitely going to cover that. And Matthew, thanks for the heads up on the base. So you can really underneath.
Bob's Picard makes me very happy.
Very, very cool. And I mean, I'm trying to find something to like complain about paint application wise, because there's so many different places that that there's just different paint apps and notches, but this is done incredibly well.
Unlike Evan, I've been a fan of Star Trek for a long time, and I remember going to the conventions, and the Playmate ships would be out, and they would be, of course, they'd be bigger than this, but the detail wouldn't be as fine. And the thing about the Playmates is when they first came out, you didn't get a base that actually held a lot of the ships. This base, I think I just noobed it here.
Yeah, no, it's got to go in the other way.
It, right?
No, other way. It docks in, yeah.
You got it.
I thought we had it in the well. That works.
Yeah, this is the kind of piece. I don't know why I like to call this the dentist office piece.
Yeah.
That if your dentist was a big Trekkie, that he would have something like this. This is a nice piece that would go on the shelf with your Star Trek graphic novels, your books, your technical guides. It's museum like quality piece. That's what I like about it.
And the thing that's nice about it is like, if this is a desk piece, you know what I mean, or a display piece in somebody's office, because you're not going to take the cheapo Star Trek figures and put them in your office. Maybe the QMX figures, because those are a little bit higher quality, and even like a Mezco possibly. But I could see somebody having, if you have an office with a bigger desk, I could see you having 3 or 4 of these from your favorite Treks on your desk. I mean, this is probably where one of them is going to end up for me. Yeah, for sure.
As far as Voyager goes, I think MJ and I were talking about it. I think once 7 of 9 joins the crew, we lose Kess as a character that really never went anywhere. I think the show really came onto its own, but I would still say the downside of Star Trek Voyager was Chakotay. He basically did nothing on the show. And when they introduced him as a love interest to 7 of 9, it was like, where did this come from? Like, why is this part of the show?
You were just jealous.
Oh, that cat suit. Who wouldn't be jealous of Jerry Ryan in that cat suit?
All right, Evan, why don't you fire off some comments because we're going to move on to the next show.
Austin Whitfield, this is his first live stream.
We'll build to the original.
It's Austin's first live stream.
That's original.
No? Okay.
What?
It's Austin's first live stream. He's hoping he's going to get the noob luck.
Ooh.
We have
newbie luck.
We don't have any
giveaways.
noob luck. Okay.
That's the
Red is asking when the DJ show. Waiting for you to tear it up on 1s and 2s.
1s and 2s.
I think that's very much an Evan for the future thing.
So we're gonna do.
And Alex says he loves those ships.
Oh, you do? Do you have any, Alex? This is eaglemoss.com. Eaglemoss Collections is another thing you could Google to search.
Ooh, yeah.
They have a really cool line of Lord of the Rings figures.
Yeah,
I was hoping we might get some.
Well, if when Lord of the Rings Day comes around, they've got Lord of the Rings, Alien and Predator, Doctor Who, Batman. We're going to cover Batman for Batman Day next Friday. Oh.
Here, I'm going to hand you the
that's...
E. This is the E, and this is the one from First Contact.
Which is the movie?
He just asked if First Contact was the movie.
He's one of the movies. I don't know.
He's still hoping for his First Contact.
It's so nice when we really just want to throw him under the bus and just say, hey, but maybe you should do some research, like, before we do this, like watch Friday the 13th, part 3, before we review the
I've already seen the movie. I didn't need to see it again. They're all the same, generally.
I think I got it backwards here, number 1.
That's my favorite.
There we go. You want to take that. Dock that baby in there.
These things are... Okay, so let's get slightly nitpicky.
Okay.
Ooh. No, it's got to go.
I thought you had it.
I think you had it.
I think you had it, because it's notice these are in...
Or not.
These are in flight.
Yeah, but I think if you do that, it's going to... Oh, no.
No.
Do you want me to...
Nope.
Okay, you do it.
Now it's in a downward spiral. Not going to make it out of space dock with you at the
This is a heavy piece, too. That's what I like. I think about it.
Yeah, I think so.
It's not...
Impulse my butt.
So, again, the paint apps are unbelievable. This is a exact replica of the ship, lights and all. And I'm sure, here comes my nitpick. It would kind of be cool if the back, whatever you want to call those, photon, what's the jets, essentially?
Sorry, it's out of my mind.
If you throw it into the comments. If that lit up and they just had a little LED, I'm sure they can't do it because it would be, ridiculously expensive. But other than that, that's really cool.
It's I got to say, though, to scale, the Voyager is a smaller class ship, but I'm thinking that if this was to scale a Voyager, it'd be a lot bigger. I mean, these are side by side; they're very comparable to one another, but they're not really to scale of each ship. That might be my only complaint. Otherwise, this is fantastic. This is far cooler than any Enterprise I had as a kid.
Matthew says his pro tip for the stands. However, it looks like it should go in. Do the opposite.
Okay.
Then he says the jets are nacelles. I don't know how to
nacelles. The nacelle engines. That sounds right. I didn't notice the red parts here that popped out. They're like the blue. They're only in red. See that?
Yeah.
How did you miss that? Put it in backwards.
And you can pretty much see, like, that's where somebody would just paint this red. This is see-through.
See-through, yeah.
All the way through.
It catches that light. And that's a little bit...
You know what? Let's use your little light thing. Can it? Nah. We're going to have to do something better for that.
A little bit solid.
You got it.
No, it's a...
Oh, he's in now. First contact has been made.
I'm making the noises myself. Move this over here. Going to spin right into the other ship.
We're about to have a
Picard meltdown. But again, you get the magazine with it. Does a full goes into the full crew. It goes into the First Contact, and then it does have some of other maquettes that are at the end that you can get from Eaglemoss. So that's another nice little, you're getting something more than the statue. Than the model of the ship. You're actually getting some reading material, breakdown, something that's nice to add to the gift that you're giving someone. So I do like that. And, it's fun to learn about Star Trek. And especially for somebody like Evan, this is all going to be new stuff for you. Yeah. It's going to be a complete breakdown.
Yeah, if somebody gave me this, I would be able to read through the booklet and know more about it.
Right.
I still, regardless of any of my interest in Star Trek, not really knowing any of it, I still find this ship cool. So if somebody gave that to me, I would enjoy it.
It's good.
And then I could learn about it through the
actual. You want to fire off one of the questions?
Okay, so let's give away Voyager. And how hard should these be?
Medium.
Okay.
Medium hard.
Medium hard. Who was?
Yes, Matthew. We are going to get Evan assimilated. We're working on it.
There's no Voyager questions that's good.
Well. Just go Star Trek.
Okay, so let's do Star Trek. I'm looking at the ships. Who was the faction on Voyager? There was crew, that was Federation, and who was the other faction that was on the ship when they jumped to the other side of the Delta Quadrant, when they were on the Delta Quadrant? So who was that? Who was that? Who was the other faction that was intermixed with the Federation crew on Voyager after the first episode?
Well, you guys are working on that. Daniel, yes, every ship does come with a book.
Yes. The way Eaglemoss does this.
Matthew, you are correct. I believe, Matt, no one else has answered the question yet?
Nope. Yep, Matthew. Money in the bank, friend. Evan will contact you, or you can send Evan a private message. But you got a ship coming your way.
Yep. And the magazine.
And the magazine,
you got Voyager for yourself.
So the way that Eaglemoss does this is they send out a new one every month, or it's like a subscription that you get.
You can buy them as one-offs, or you can subscribe. The first month is discounted, and then it kind of scales up a little bit as you go along. Because we're talking Eaglemoss, we were saying earlier, Batman. We're going to do Batman Day next Friday.
No, that's May 1st. Batman Day is May 1st.
Oh, it's May 1st.
May
okay.
1st.
So we've got Batman Day coming up, Alien versus Predator, which they're not doing Alien
Day. It's Alien Day.
Yeah, but I'm talking about on their website. They cover Alien, they cover Predator, Lord of the Rings, what else?
Doctor Who.
And now the really cool thing that they do is am I missing something?
Just look at him.
Look at
him.
I don't like the look.
Yeah.
Okay. The other cool thing that they have is, and we got Jason Nelson, one of our admins, bought into this, is the Back to the Future DeLorean. Every month you get a piece to build it.
Right.
So all in all, it's about 120 or 130 pieces. It gets pricey. You get up into the $1,000, $1,100 mark.
That's over how long?
It happens, I think, over the course of about a year or so, you get all the pieces. So here's the thing I want to say, because I talked to somebody about this who said, hey, the DeLorean is crazy out of my price range. For some people, totally agree, it is. But if you are a diehard Back to the Future guy and you go out, the Hot Toys, which is plastic, not die-cast, is between $1,200 and $1,400. And it's nowhere near as detailed, and it's nowhere near as weight-wise and all the cool little lights and gadgets. So at the end of the day, if you like to build something and you're a die-cast fan, because we're starting to see die-cast come back. For many years, you didn't see anything die-cast. Eaglemoss is a good place to go. So, all right, let's keep going.
Sandeep says your shirt is awesome.
Thank you very much.
He really likes your shirt.
I try.
We're going to go with the NX-01 from Enterprise.
Oh, wow.
It's a beaut.
Nice. All right. It's weird because you want to take it out, but at the same time, you're not exactly sure where you should pick it up. So I'm guessing there's a little thumb kind of indentation. Oh.
That's cool.
Very nice.
That's sleek.
So we do have a little bit of the styrofoam kind of attaching itself, just making sure, but... So we have the red nacelles up here. We have the blue inside. So that's also very sleek in design, like that. I'd say it feels like it's more comparable in size and scale to Voyager.
Well,
because the NX-01 wasn't nearly as big as the Enterprise.
Again, I mean, a lot of times you get, these plastic mid-tier collectibles, and when you pick them up, you're like, ooh, this is going to break. I mean, I'm holding this from the weakest point, and it feels solid. And you could go over this thing with, I would assume, because I'm a big Star Trek fan, but I'm not, one of those, can recreate the decks of the ship type of fan. I'm sure you could probably go over this picture for picture, and it's not missing a detail.
And again, we got a full little magazine about the ship. There's a lot of stuff about each of the – actually, in this one, we actually get the actors and then what they normally look like if they're not in makeup, which I think for some of the cast members of Voyager is kind of nice.
Quantum Leap.
The guy from Quantum Leap, he got that. Well, you'd be really happy that the other guy from Quantum Leap is actually in an episode as well.
Tell us the premise of Quantum Leap.
Yes. So Quantum Leap is a story about a guy who keeps jumping bodies and having to solve the problems.
How is he jumping through different bodies?
I don't remember. I know I watched the first episode, but I don't remember exactly how he does it. Didn't know. I think as far as I got in the first episode, they never explained how he does it. He just wakes up in a different body. How does he do it?
I can't do this. I'm like hella intimidated by this.
Scott Bakula,
yes,
who was the star of Quantum Leap, who played Sam,
who's also Chuck.
He's actually being moved through time by God to solve problems that went wrong and setting them right.
Okay.
And it's believed that the bartender in the last episode of Quantum Leap is actually God.
Is his name Chuck?
Ironically enough, that actor who plays the bartender is also in the very first episode. So you can kind of see how that's all come full circle.
I was wrong, very wrong about how you
put that on there.
Yeah.
Did you just do the opposite, or did you think opposite and went with what you normally would have went with?
I thought, how would Evan do this? And then it instantly worked.
Nice. It's something with millennials, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
What would Evan do? WWED.
We're 3 ships in.
What's what it looks like when you're dying inside?
We're 3 ships. Scott Bakula is actually a Time Lord. Quantum Leap was a documentary. I like that. That's
Matthew.
Like fan theory, man. That's great. I love that. Again, I got no complaints. This is a fantastic ship. I'm not a big fan of Enterprise. I think it missed a lot of beats that we could have really done, and I think Star Trek Discovery.
It came later on. It got better.
Yeah, I think Star Trek Discovery righted a lot of wrongs that I think Enterprise, if it would have gone that route, I think. But, I mean, TV was different. Even then, what was that, 15 years ago? Yeah. 10, 15 years ago, I think TV's vastly different.
As we're starting to lay these ships out, I'm getting real upset that we're giving any away. It's like I'm getting ready to just clear a whole shelf in my house and just go all Star Trek ships.
Okay, well, let's do another giveaway. So, Trekkies, if you're paying attention.
Last one, right?
This is the last one.
What are we giving away?
We're going to give away the NCC 1701
This is a beaut.
So we're going to give this away, and just tell us what is the actor's name who played Zephram Cochrane. Okay, that's it. The guy who founded the Transwarp Drive in First Contact.
Oh, very nice.
He's an Academy Award-winning director. He's also the guy who is the pig farmer in Babe.
Yes, he is.
Is that really, I don't think you can get much better than that.
How long does it take you to get to IMDb?
To Google that. I would have already typed it in because, I asked the question. All right, we're going to go with...
a lot of times, if you're watching this show and trying to win something for free...
James Cromwell?
Yes, that is correct.
Matthew won again?
Matthew won again. We didn't say that you couldn't win twice.
New rule for next week. Matthew, double up.
Oh, Matthew, good thing you won too.
Yeah.
So no slamming of your hand down on the desk.
Yeah.
So Matthew, you just got 2. That is, I know, that's a weird one. But we're going to open up NCC 1701D, the USS Galaxy Starship. Oh
God.
Oh. So it does not separate. The saucer section does not come away from the battle bridge, which is the very first thing that I thought of.
Oh, that's great.
So we have as Moriarty called it, I look like a turtle, an upside down turtle ship. So if we look at it this way,
Wow.
I actually had a VHS of bloopers, and there was in the blooper this was going by one time. I'm going to hand it off to you, but it's very
I think this should be right.
like, oh God. I'm going to hand it off to you.
Wow.
Yeah.
I almost feel like it's a little bit lighter, but because by then they got better with
With the technology.
The technology
Yeah,
is
the
the reason
technology.
why it's a little bit lighter.
Yeah. Well, the battle bridge, I mean, I'm sure that there's probably
Yeah.
a version out there where you get a separated saucer section in battle bridge.
I think this is the one that's going to make it to the set.
I didn't think that was going to make it to the set.
No?
No,
Okay.
no, I didn't think that one was making it to
And
the
Matt,
set.
you don't have to apologize. Star Trek, you crushed it.
That's it.
Good job.
He will give it to a friend and make it up.
See?
Spread the love. That's awesome, man. Matt, you know what? We're also going to get your T-shirt size from you, so we can
Yes.
give you an AFJ T-shirt as well.
For sure.
Way to spread the love, brother. So as you can see, Evans
This part is very, very thin.
well. That's it's what's funny, being so far removed from the 90s now, and even then Star Trek Next Generation came out in like 87, September 12th, I think 1987. How 90s this looks.
Oh,
to
yeah.
me. Yeah, it's like we look at if we hold it up to I guess its predecessor? No, not predecessor. The ship that came afterwards. You can see like the sleeker design of it and how someone designed this to have a more, this was like late 90s, kind of mod and the designs of it, where this is a little bit.
So you're going from bigger is better to
and they're
smaller.
They're
Old big cell phones,
Exactly.
to the small ones.
And this is comparable in size. I would believe that these two are very close to it in design. Again, Voyager seems to be bigger, but Voyager and the NX-01 Enterprise, I think, are closer to scale to
Real
one
quick,
another.
before we go on, Matthew also says that blooper is actually how they filmed the ships. They were usually filmed upside down because the bottom was shown more than the top in most cases. Learned that
Nice.
from an episode of Reading Rainbow as a kid.
Nice. Oh, I
Nice.
love reading Rainbow.
This is my only complaint with this, is that this feels
Very
very,
thin.
very, very thin and easily breakable. When you have this
Yeah,
Yeah.
really heavy top front part, that seems
I can see what
Yeah.
you're
scary,
saying. Yeah.
scary thin.
So it's scary.
Well,
So
they want you to detach.
yeah. So how did you? I didn't even see.
I don't
you take
know
it
that we-
apart?
No, I think you had it there. No, I think it's
All right. I was doing the
you had it,
backwards.
and then right it should slide in that way.
This is our biggest issue.
No, definitely not. No, there you. That's what I was thinking. Does it slide in?
I think this is our biggest problem.
Man.
Yeah. Wait a minute. No.
So here's the cool thing about doing this for you guys.
I'm command. I'm not engineer. Damn it! Can't do this.
The more that we do this, like we're gonna tell Eaglemoss, hey guys,
Right.
You're printing a booklet. I would throw in there or a little sheet that just shows how you do this.
And Eaglemoss was very straightforward about us saying things that we did not like.
Yeah.
Oh, there is. It's right here. Stand assembly.
Well,
Look
there
at
you
that.
go.
I can
That's-
read the
we're-
schematic.
We're super.
So we're just
super
so we're
pro.
just dumb, is what we're
So this goes like this.
doing. I flipped it around. I think that will help with the weight.
No.
So you want to get it like that. And kudos to Eaglemoss for not actually indenting the ship or changing its design
Yeah.
to fit the stand. Again, wow, being a Star Trek fan from back in the day,
That is-
having a ship that's actually on a stand is great because people were making them to do the Playmate ships. They were like the most ridiculous things. And then there were people selling them at cons. So again, yeah, I'm going to lay it out there. This one's coming home with me, number one.
I got to give mine to my dad.
I was actually
How
hoping,
nice.
I was actually hoping I could take one to bring to my dad too. 'cause my
Oh
dad
well,
was a
we'll
Star
see
Trek fan.
about that, your dad. But we do have concept art drawings in here. We have
that's
how the
really
ship
cool.
comes apart over here, and then we even have some.
Does it actually come apart?
I don't think that it does. This is just
He thinks Dave thinks it
Enterprise
does.
components.
The stagehand Dave thinks it does come.
And then we have lots of cool concept artwork of all the different components.
Does it come apart?
I don't even want to. I don't even want to see if it does because right now it's just way too good. And then we have Counselor Troy here in a blue cheerleading uniform. You think it comes apart? It would say if it did.
I think that's what the
seam on it.
Yeah, I saw that scene too, but that's where the saucer
that might
section.
be showing you. All right, so while we look into
where it's
this,
possible in the show, maybe.
keep an eye out for Into the Wild episode 5.
We go to Farpoint.
We go.
Yes.
We try to find the mystery of Farpoint collectibles in. Where's the place?
In New Jersey.
In New Jersey, Maze Landing, I think.
I think it was Maze Land.
Yeah.
We cannot figure out how a toy store like that is even around. We saw it was like a toy museum in there. Me and Bob spent half the time just going like this.
There was a good 10 minutes that I was just filming Bob going, just looking at something and just not saying a word. I'm like, Bob, can you tell me what that is? Can you give me anything?
We actually have to go back and film the second part because we were there so long we ran out of
battery.
Yep.
So
my camera died.
Yeah, that's the one. See,
It's got, you know what? You know what's cool about it? Like, we don't even have it all the way out of the box yet, and it already has that 60s paint job to it. It doesn't look like it was like it's not the Enterprise from the movies, not from any of the movies, not even from when they did the NCC 1701A. But this is the real deal, original. Do you
think they pick those colors because they're sort of military colors?
Yeah, and look at the deflector on the front right here. Oh, wow.
That's cool.
So what's really neat is, and Evan, you may appreciate this, if you go down to the Air and Space Museum down in Washington, D.C., you can actually see one of the original models. They actually have it, and it's weird because I went in there. Don't go in and ask, can I see the Enterprise? Because they're going to tell you about the space shuttle that was named the Enterprise, which is now in like Virginia or something, where you have to go and say, I need to see the Star Trek Enterprise. And it's when I saw it there a couple of years ago, it was in the gift shop, like down an escalator, and there it was. And if you've seen some of these we've done, the Star Wars shirt I wear is also from the Smithsonian. So I'm blowing off the styrofoam here, but
you didn't smell any of these.
They don't smell.
Huh?
Yeah,
they really don't smell. So our smell test. Oh, look at this.
I got to tell you, I mean, I'm more of a next gen guy.
Yeah, but this
is
really cool.
I mean, and you could, like, back then there aren't, like, they didn't do as many of these like paint apps and all that stuff. It's sleek.
Look at that. When you read the instructions, we have it figured out in the first roll.
Yeah, go ahead.
Here.
Oh, wow.
How much longer after we end this today is just going to be us, like, in the office, firing at each other?
This magazine is fantastic because we have the captains of the Enterprise, we have the different doctors, and this includes actors, even though they may be the same, from The Cage, from the original Star Trek pilot. So we're getting a full history of Star Trek, not just Star Trek when Captain Kirk took over and they relaunched it with a whole new pilot. We've even got Gary Lockwood in here. We've got old school yellow uniforms. We got Kirk with the big gun that was only ever in where no man has gone before. I think that was the first episode of Star Trek when Gary Lockwood becomes basically a god.
It's disappointing that you don't know for sure about.
There are so many Star Trek episodes, Evan, that it would be like you.
If I thought that you were like a big Trek fan, you might know.
You know what? I am a Trek fan, and when there was a drought of Star Wars between 84 and 99, I watched a lot of Star Trek, and that's the great thing about Star Trek is it was easily accessible. It was on every Sundays, and when the Next Generation came out, it was on once a week. And then Star Trek became even more. Yeah. Then they were rerunning it everywhere. I mean,
there
Star
was
Trek
even
never
an
went off
animated T-shirt.
Cartoon.
cartoon.
Yes, and the cool thing about the animated cartoon was I would love if they would have an animated Enterprise in the same style. Maybe I don't know. That's awesome. But the cool part about the cartoon was they got, I'd say, 99% of the cast back. I think everybody, but I don't think Walter Koenig. I think he was the only one that wasn't on. And they got a lot of the same writers back. And some of the scripts were just scripts from Star Trek that they never used.
Is that the same? Go ahead.
I have 2 comments. Doug is saying thank you for us doing this, but also do they have the Klingon ships?
I don't know. We got to find out.
There were some Klingon ships.
Yeah.
But the thing that we've found is a difficulty for us looking at Eaglemoss's site, and Eaglemoss wants us to point these things out, was it was hard for us to get to every little ship.
Yes.
And we were like, what's a big ship? What's a little ship? We were having some problems navigating their website, but there was a Klingon bird of prey.
Yes,
I did not see an original Klingon ship. I believe I did see a Romulan warbird, though.
Yeah, there was a warbird.
The green one from Next Gen, not the weird half-circle thing with a pylon over here, whatever that thing was.
And the other comment was, where no man has gone before is the second pilot, the first with Kirk.
Well, yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we got Walter actually wrote a few of the animated episodes too.
Right. That is very true.
Matthew, if we do another Star Trek, we're giving you a shout out. You could be our consultant.
You could be our Trekkie.
Okay. This is my favorite one, and also
I love the paint. Just the paint job really.
I think I'm going to sign up and buy these. I think I need them all now. Yeah,
this is a find. Let's
let's line them up. Let's line them up.
Let's line them up here.
These are really cool. And then let's do our 1 to 5 thing. There we go.
Somebody to put some light on in the holodeck.
There you go. Let's line them up. Put them up front to the best of our ability.
Can you see them all here? No, these are. A friend of mine got. They have smaller versions, which are more for your desk at work. Steve, who was our contact there at Eaglemoss, he said it's the kind of collection where you get one, and then a month later you realize you have like 20 of them.
Yeah.
It's just each one is a little different piece of Star Trek, the ships, the universe, and all of those fun little things.
Don't quote us on the price. I believe you start out at like $9.99 for your first one, and then they range from there. And I think they max out at about $45.
That's the ultimate Warriors fans.
Wow.
So what's your favorite, MJ?
I got, as much as I want to say the next gen ship, I think it's the classic. I think it's the 1701. I really do. The 01, no dash, the original.
Captain Pike's ship. Captain Pike's coming to Discovery this season, too. Next season, sorry. Next season.
Yeah, that one wins. I mean, that's definitely the one for me. So, okay, I'm going to do my top 5. It's 1, it's Enterprise.
D.
Okay.
4 Enterprises here.
Probably First Contact.
E.
Voyager?
No,
Enterprise.
Enterprise. NX-01.
Voyager. And just because Voyager, these are all kind of in the same family. The Voyager one is your cousin that comes to the picnic and you're like, oh.
I feel like Voyager is the only one here that's not. Well, I say that Voyager and the NX-01 I think are in their own class of scale, where these 3, I don't know. I think maybe even the E is in a separate class. It doesn't feel. It feels like this one should be bigger. I guess what I remember it being in First Contact, and that these 2 are closer in size and scale. But I mean, there is a what is it, Constellation class, and then there's a Galaxy class. Yeah. So I mean, we're just nitpicking here because I don't think we can really find anything wrong.
No.
But I'll go with the original NCC 1701. Then I'll go D. Then I got to go with the Enterprise NX-01. I'm not a big fan of the show. I did watch it for maybe 2 straight years before I kind of weaned off on it.
That's what I got better.
I think the ship nails it. And then I'm going to go with Voyager. I'd say that the E is probably my least favorite of the 5. I think Voyager just on scale is really, really cool. It's just big. I like that. And I know this is supposedly a smaller ship because it's, more exploratory ship. But the D is, I guess, first and foremost in my heart because it was my show that I watched as a kid. I made every effort to get home in time to watch Star Trek that day. And it was before the internet. I would call my buddy up and we would talk about what happened between, in commercial breaks.
Yeah.
That was our show. That's what we did. We even had parties for the last
prior
episode.
to the internet.
Yes. You remember those days, Evan?
Yes.
Yes.
When you were eating baby food?
No, I was old enough to know the internet wasn't there.
Rubbing poop on the wall.
Ooh, I didn't know that was a thing you did.
That was a thing that you did?
That was a thing that you did, Evan?
Wow, okay.
That's weird.
No.
That was in your head. That's weird.
So,
it's weird that was in his head, right? That sounds like it came from experience.
It's actually, when you think about it, if I had to think about you as a child, I would go there.
So did we mention that you can we've got more light on now. The light's catching.
Yeah, that's what
in the blue here in the warp nacelles.
Yeah.
So wow, that's really
very sharp, yeah.
Not that my opinion on these ships matters all that much, considering
That's
I don't know the
certainly
shows that they
very
go
true.
with.
No, but go ahead.
I'm just being honest.
Give us your 5.
I think this one is my favorite.
Okay.
Nice.
Wrong.
No, I like.
I'm just messing with him.
He's a guy who hasn't
Wrong.
watched the show, so we're looking at
one of the funniest things to me is just a quick no.
It's
just you're wrong.
Wait, hold on. I pulled that one from my magic ball.
Your crystal ball.
Crystal ball.
Crystal ball.
It's a magic crystal ball.
Oh, magic slams, Nick.
We have way too much fun. Go ahead. Evan. I want to hear what you have to say.
We get to talk toys.
1, 2,
Wrong.
3,
Wrong.
Ooh.
4, 5.
Oh,
the only reason I put this. No, I'm talking.
I'm gonna leave the set.
Here's my reason.
All right.
In terms of the ships themselves, I think they all look amazing. They're all in the same boat for me. But if I was going to pick one of these to have on my desk, I'm still scared about the back of this one.
Okay.
I'm still scared about how thin the back of that one is.
Okay,
that's still my own.
So you like more junk in your Enterprise trunk?
You're going off the review of looking at it, but now we're just saying okay, all right. I can only. And you don't have an emotional attachment to these ships.
I can only go based off what I see here.
All right,
I don't have the attachment.
In some ways, I spent more time with the Voyager than I did with this ship or that ship.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe I should Voyager up one.
I don't think I've seen but maybe half of the original episodes. I still picked it. I've watched more.
68.
Yeah, I've watched all of these 2 or 3 times.
Matthew, even picking on actual aesthetics, not nostalgia. I appreciate that. Okay, all right, thank you. Yes, this escalated very quickly.
Okay,
yes.
so let's
it's close. It's close to you guys. I get that. It's important to you. So
let's go up and let's read some of the comments. So
that escalated quickly.
Doug says the Bird of Prey is my favorite. Oh, we did that one.
Yeah.
Matthew, we did that one. We will in the future, if we get some Star Wars ships, we'll do a comparison.
Oh yeah,
Star Wars to Star Trek.
Yeah, I would like. Now, I mean, it's all marketing and it's all like who has the rights to do what. But I would love to see.
Oh, could you imagine
a Millennium Falcon with this? With the same everything.
Somebody does that, don't they?
QMX
has a Star Wars one.
Great.
Okay. No, I saw one at Toy Fair. They had them under the samurai versions of the different heroes. Who does those?
Was that I can never pronounce it? Kobayaki. Whoever does the samurai figures.
No, I thought that's SH Fig Arts. I think
it's SH Fig Arts.
Yeah, I think it's
okay.
SH.
They had a whole line of all the different ships for Star Wars as well.
Okay.
All right.
As far as I remember.
So Mike Anthony says the original is the best, 1701. Very cool. Matthew says yes, D&E are enormous ships. Voyager is a smaller,
right,
and the NX-01 is the smallest scale.
Yeah,
good to know.
Yep,
Matthew, when you get your 2 in, since you are our
grand prize winner,
our Star Trek go-to guy, take it out. Tell us, give us, if you don't mind, do your own little review and post it, and let us know if the scale and the windows are in the right place.
Yeah, I have seen nothing that says like that shouldn't be there. Like that's not on the ship.
Yeah, I don't like.
I'm getting.
They look spot on.
I get full on Star Trek vibes when I look at all this. Nothing throws me off. And I was at 22 Star Trek conventions, I think, as a kid. So I this was something that I would walk by this and just like, I can't put that anywhere. I gotta walk away from this. It's too cool.
This is a shame because we don't see a lot of people showing these off in your collection, And because of the way that Eaglemoss does their distribution, if I went into like an LCS and I saw these displayed, I'd probably have to snatch up 4 or 5 of them. But you don't see these out and displayed anywhere.
No.
And I think it's a real injustice to these pieces because they are absolutely beautiful. And Star Trek is one of those, everybody debates Star Wars versus Star Trek, but it's the beginning of that sci-fi itch. Right. So when you see it, you're instantly, ripped right back to childhood. You start thinking about why you loved it, and these are must-haves.
We could have a full-on Trek debate. I think Trek is so much more accessible now than it used to be. When I was in college, my roommate and we would put on a Trek at the end of the day and just watch it, but we were stuck with whatever Trek that was going to be. Yeah, and now you can surf and just say, well, I want to watch Mirror Mirror.
Well, they're all on Netflix.
Yeah, I want to watch a Voyager episode. I want to watch this. You just can't get the randomness of, oh my God, I have Spock's brain. This is the episode we have to watch tonight. No, you would avoid Spock's brain because it's like one of the worst episodes ever.
So, we're gonna finish up and then we're gonna talk some Trek. So,
Michael, do they have an open ship models to show the inside? Let's build a life size, boys.
Oh,
LOL.
I wish.
Let's see. Michael says NX-01 is in the top 5. Nice design. Rick, we said that did escalate quickly. Matthew, Evan is picking on the actual aesthetics and not nostalgia. He appreciates that.
Yeah, that's good.
And Rick says the next gen is his favorite. Oh. Rick, I think we got a surprise for you tomorrow that you don't know about. So we might be doing 2 Mezco unboxings tomorrow.
Yes.
So we did the ships, Eaglemoss, absolutely beautiful. What are we going to say? Only downside is the next gen ship might be a little flimsy in the back. There's not enough junk for Evan.
Yeah, it's just a little. It's on the thin side, and you can actually move the warp nacelles.
There.
It's just
No, I mean,
as opposed to the rest.
Not nearly as much. Not nearly as much.
Yeah.
As opposed to the rest of these, that seems the most dangerous of the pieces.
So, but
I'd be afraid to drop that one. Is what I'm saying.
And
I'd be afraid to drop any of them.
Well, yeah,
the truth, but
Now,
some of them feel a little more solid.
Right.
Now that we know that the base is in the booklet,
that
helps.
We can figure it out.
Yeah,
I think
right in on the first. I don't know why we didn't see that, but it's right on the first page
of every one of them.
Okay, so let's kind of talk Star Trek, Star Wars a little bit.
Which we don't talk much. Star Trek,
we don't do a ton of Trek. So one thing that I think is interesting now is Star Wars is so in your face, in front of your face today with Disney owning it. You had the reboot, right? Mm-hmm. But even before we get into that portion, I think it's really interesting. Like in the early 2000s, there were probably like 2 or 3 Star Trek documentaries. Just about it's Trekkies. Mm-hmm. There's a sequel to it.
Yeah.
And maybe 2 or 3 other just like Star Trek documentaries. You're not seeing as many new ones, but now you're starting to see documentaries about Star Wars characters. Right. So I give that notch to Star Trek because their fandom was so all over this that it kind of opened the door for the crazy Star Wars guys to come in and do that. So you were talking about characters. Right. So I think that's great because I think we should do at the end, what do we think about the new movies and all that? Okay. So favorite character across all of Star Trek, the TV shows, and most hated character.
All right, I'll go first. First and foremost, Patrick Stewart as Jean-Luc Picard. I think there is. I mean, Shatner is Shatner. He's going to be the guy who's laying the alien tail in every episode. But Picard, I think, as a character, I think Stewart had more to work with. He was able to elevate Star Trek to a place that I don't think it would have gone without him. I mean, you think of Star Trek, and Shakespeare is probably, not too far down the road when you think about it. And he really elevated everything that he did. And if you see some of these Star Trek documentaries that are on now, like, was it Trouble on the Bridge?
Yeah, Trouble,
which is on Netflix. They all kind of complain about Stewart at the beginning because he demanded a certain level of professionalism on set where everybody else wasn't taking it seriously. He even demanded that of He never wanted it to be schlocky. He never wanted it to be cheesy. This was very serious to him. And clearly, the respect of him as an actor, his character, performance, everything. I'll watch any Picard episode as that's just good Star Trek. I mean, Light Years is a great episode. Or, I'm sorry, The Inner Light. The Inner Light is a great episode. Worst character ever? I would have to say, God, as much as I hate Troy, I would have to say Kes from Voyager. I mean, they wrote her out. They got her out of there. There wasn't much there for her to do. They even threw her with the Doctor for a while. Yeah, the holographic Doctor, and it was one of those characters. It was just like,
I love him. That actor is
Robert Picardo.
Yeah.
Oh, he's fantastic.
He's great.
I mean, you watch any Joe Dante film, and Robert Picardo is in there somewhere. That's why I love Robert Picardo. But it was, Kes, I think, was the most boring character. If you had to do him from Picard is the best to the worst, it's going to be Kes. I mean, I think there's even some Alien 1 episodes of Star Trek, the original series, like the Salt Vampire. That's a better character than Kes, and she was on for almost 4 seasons, if not 4 seasons. So what about you?
Well, I mean, the easy layup is Picard. And now, of course, I'm spacing on the name.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go real wild here for favorite character. Whoopi Goldberg.
Guinan.
And the reason is because it's the only thing that she's in that I really like her in. And a lot of times Star Trek has a way of kind of shoehorning in a premise or trying to really they'll just knock you across the face with what they want to tell you.
Right.
And her approach in counseling people in the episodes that she's in, I never felt was that knock you over the head with it. And I always appreciated the lesson that she taught the character and their development. Always, if you have in an episode that she shows up, your character's walking away with growth. And it was that kind of instant, you're going to get another layer or dimension to your character with her. So that's hands down my favorite. I know it's a little weird, but
no, it's
those little nuances that get me.
It's a good point. And most people fail to realize that she was introduced in season 2. I believe when Pulaski was.
No, wasn't she introduced in
3?
What I thought
in season 2 or season 3.
She's in the second Q episode because Q knows her. Right.
Okay. No, I don't think he's in the second episode because that's the one when he gives Riker the powers.
Yeah.
I don't think he's in that one.
All right.
But I know when she does show up, whenever they go to whatever the Delta Quadrant is or past that, when Wesley and the Traveler, I think that's when you first see the Borg, and she tells Picard, "I would turn around now."
Yeah.
Because I mean, you're right. She was very straightforward. There was no you got to figure this out on yourself.
Yeah.
She was giving you what you needed to hear in a lot of ways right away.
When Picard gets taken by the Borg and Riker has to step up and fill the chair, the advice that she gives him in the ready room is it's amazing. It's great. And so that's that. And worst character, again, because you know how horrible I am with names, but the Doctor from the second season. How do you take
Pulaski?
Yeah, Pulaski. How do you take this great character, which is Dr. Crusher, and then shoehorn in this just pain in your butt, difficult, not very fun character?
As I'm sure Matthew is going to tell us because of what was going on behind the scenes. And Gates McFadden wanted out, and they brought in, I can't even remember her name.
But you could have written in a much better character than what they did. So you took somebody who was, kind of integral to Picard's past, had real foundation with the crew, and then all of a sudden you shoehorn in, and they didn't even try to pretend to make you like her throughout the whole season.
Well, I think that's part of it, and it's one of the things about those documentaries and a lot of things that have been revealed in the press after the fact is that nobody really cared for the actress. And I'm sorry, I can't remember her name. I liked her at the time.
Jennifer Ann Lee?
No. But the further we get into Trek and the more you watch it over and over again, you can kind of see how nobody really likes her.
Yeah.
And there's the actors aren't gelling. That there is that point where it's like,
Matthew came in to help you. Pulaski was Diana Muldaur.
Diana Muldaur, who I loved in the original series. She was in one episode, and it would have been interesting if they would have brought her full circle.
Whoa.
My first
I didn't even
sneeze.
know what that was.
My first sneeze. I gotta go.
Okay.
While he's doing that,
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, because I don't really know much Star Trek, I would say Picard, just because I like Bob's Picard voice.
Okay.
It makes me laugh constantly.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to blow my
but
nose in the other room.
But I'll read off people's
I was
comments,
stuffy.
favorites. Rick says his favorite is Picard as well.
Doug took Worf as his favorite. Doug
Really,
Bolton.
Michael Dorn.
He said he got to meet him,
Yeah, and he got
too.
to meet him.
Yeah, he was a fun guy. Yeah.
Matthew says Odo is his favorite.
Oh, Rene Auberginois. He is a very cool guy. And
Yeah.
Did you know that he is also the voice of the chef in The Little Mermaid who tries to cut up the crab, Sebastian?
No, I did not.
That
know
blew my mind when I got Rene Auberginois' autograph and he had pictures from The Little Mermaid. I go, where were you with that? He goes, I was the chef.
Rick says Q was annoying.
Okay.
Oh, no, I like Q.
I'm a Q fan.
Yeah, John Delancey. Love Q.
Richard was saying the Kess character drove Jennifer and Lime.
Maybe that's
insanity.
it. Oh, she's insane now.
Uh-huh.
Well, the Ultimate Warrior was insane, too.
Doug says Diana Troy, I think, was better. Sorry, buddy. I don't know what he was referring
Diana
to.
Troy is better than who? Kess? Or was worse than Kess?
That's
Well, I
that's
think
what
you
I
were
heard.
also kind of saying that you may have picked Diana as your worst.
So I guess she's saying it's better
yeah.
than Kess.
She. You know what's fun? I've been going back like MJ and watching old Treks again because we started doing some Star Trek imitations here, and I was like, I'm going to go back.
Yeah. Now I'm 5 seasons in.
Yeah.
He's picking his
And,
favorites.
and I'm watching through the episodes, and I'm like, what are her powers? Somebody define to me, besides being a beta Z and being able to sense real information. At one point, Riker's captured. He's on another ship, and they're like talking, and they're like, Counselor, did you get anything from him? And she's like, no, I couldn't read him. I'm like,
For the first time.
actually, ever?
No, I think that's actually the line. It's
Yeah.
for the first time
Time.
I couldn't read it.
yeah, and it was like, give me a
Well,
break.
isn't it? There's the honest trailer for the Star Trek Next Generation. They just have a super cut of every time she goes, can't read him.
I can't read him.
I
It's
can't.
just-
I can't.
it's
I'm not
just
getting
like-
anything.
And the other thing
I
that
think
gets
he's
me
hiding
is,
something.
if this was such a great idea of the Federation to have a counselor, 1-2 seats down from the captain on the bridge, no one else did that. No one else did that. There wasn't a counselor on Deep Space Nine who was, one door down from Avery Brooks, Captain Sisko. So I mean, like, in Voyager, I think they had a counselor, but you rarely saw them. Like, they just showed up here and there. And granted, what were there, 112 souls on that ship, and you still didn't know everybody's name. It was lame.
All right, so Rick says her origin made more sense after Generation. Michael Anthony said Spock is the best. He can adapt and be in any show.
Spock would be my number 2.
Yeah.
He really would.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think so.
the older I get, the more I appreciate Nimoy's performance and the more that I like the character.
Michael also said, and this is a great one, worst has to be Troy. He could be hiding something.
Yeah.
Which is what her line.
I sense immense pain.
Matthew says Crusher was season 1. We talked about that.
Right.
Pulowski
Yeah, I mentioned that.
Yeah, we got that. Michael said, Anthony, they should have had a hologram dock on the Enterprise D for season 2. I would have preferred that for sure.
Yeah. And he appears in First Contact, which I thought was great. They had the holographic doctor on in Star Trek First Contact.
I think Doug is agreeing with Whoopi.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whoops.
Yeah, Whoopi. Yeah. Who would have thought?
Richard says 2 episodes.
Of what?
I'm not sure.
2
And then he
episodes.
also corrected, most likely, it's Deanna, not Diana.
Diana. Oh, is this that
Deanna,
same guy?
No, it's a different, but yeah.
Deanna, Diana. I don't know. It's like Han and Han Solo.
No,
Yeah.
one is clearly correct.
Okay. Matthew, I never really liked Tom Paris. I feel that most of the Voyager crew lacked the chemistry that Deep Space Nine or the Next Gen crew and the actors.
Let's talk about that Tom Paris thing, because the actor played a guy on Enterprise on Next Gen who was with Wesley, and he was one of these guys.
Smiled. He gave us a smiley face.
He was one of those guys that was in this weird accident, and he was disgraced, and I think he was going to be kicked out of the Federation or whatever, and Wesley almost was. But then he shows up on Voyager, but he's not the same character, but he has the same backstory.
Yeah.
So it was like, why didn't you just keep going with that, considering how many times Paramount, the powers that be, wanted to give Ensign Rowe, whatever her, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but they kept wanting to give her her own show. I think they offered her the Bajoran part on Deep Space Nine. She turned it down. She didn't want to be on Voyager. So I mean, it's like, well, you were trying to bring one character and shoehorn them into other things. But when Tom Paris is on the show playing a similar character, it just didn't make sense. And Trek constantly reused actors over and over again. I mean, you look at Tuvok.
Oh, yeah.
That actor is in multiple different roles throughout the show, which is cool, but it's also kind of weird at the same time.
All right, so Rick says that was great in First Contact. Stall them, LOL.
With the doctor, yeah.
And
the ointment.
Richard said Lauren Laren.
Rowe, Ensign Rowe. Yeah, the Bajoran,
Yeah. All right, so
We just crossed the hour mark.
we did.
wow,
It's an hour.
Yeah,
We're really an hour we Trek.
Okay. Let's pop into the new movies. Okay. Do you like that they changed the timeline? How do you feel about the movies? Let's even talk about the non-spoiler. It's not going to be Khan. Then it was Khan. Benedict Cumberbatch.
Before you guys get into legitimate conversation about it, because I can't compare it to the old movies. I can't compare it to the old show, but I did when the new reboot started, and it was in 2009, right? Was the new one?
Sure.
I went to see it with my dad, who is a big Trek fan, and I really enjoyed watching the movie and getting to see it with him. So I like the new ones just because I get to have that experience.
So,
And I did go back to watch like the first episode of the original show.
So-
And then I think he hit somebody in the back with the double arm punch,
yes.
and I was like, this is silly.
No, that's the best way to hit somebody.
Not to dump on your experience with your dad, but didn't you feel that as if you traveled back in time and could save your own planet, you probably would have tried to do something about it? Now, I know, Trekkies, that he was captured by the Klingons and stuck in a prison camp, the Eric Bana who played the Romulan, but they don't reveal that in the film. So why didn't he try to stop Romulus from being blown up? Instead, he's just flying around in this super ship and does nothing.
That movie is so bad that what's his name? Tom Hardy actually said that
not Tom Hardy.
Chris Pine?
Chris Pine?
No, I'm sorry. I'm jumping back.
You're talking about Nemesis. You're talking about Nemesis.
I'm sorry.
You're talking about Nemesis.
Side note, great, funny Tom Hardy thing is that he actually said that movie got him addicted to cocaine.
Yes.
Because it was that
was Nemesis. That was Nemesis. The Star Trek in 09, I think there's some real time travel problems. And I'm not saying like, you jump left, you jump right, you should have done this, should have done that. I'm saying that if you went back in time and you were going to stop the destruction of your planet, you probably should have headed there right away. With your technology, the knowledge of everything you know was going to happen, you probably could have convinced a few people that we probably could have evacuated the planet or made some sort of note in history. We got to be off this planet by this date. Instead, he's just flying around the galaxy. And you're like, okay, great.
So
where did he go? Oh, deleted scenes. That doesn't count. That's not canon.
Now, second movie, because I actually still have only seen like half of the third one.
I like the third one.
Yeah,
I like the third one a lot.
What'd you think of the Khan switcheroo? It's not going to be him. It is him.
Well,
I don't think I was paying attention at the time that they were like, it's not Khan.
Well, no,
if
you weren't a real fan, you weren't, trying to get all the dirt. But if you're a real fan, you saw him and went, "That's going to be Khan." And then they said to you and lied, "It's not Khan," and then it was Khan.
Abrams said he acknowledged the mistake of it. He's Mr. I've got the box and I've got I don't want to reveal what it is until a certain point, but he acknowledged that it was a mistake to hide that it was Khan. They even changed the name of the character on a panel in a trailer because they knew people would zoom in on it. I think they should have it was good up until the end where we basically do a reenactment by switching Kirk and Spock in their roles at the end of the original movie to this movie. And I've never watched it again since. Like, I've never gone back. I think Michael Giacchino's done a great score for it, and I've listened to that more than I've ever watched this movie. And I think it's a huge waste of some good acting. I think the Cumberbatch is great as Khan, and I think you really could have spun it in a different direction. However, I would have rather had Gary Lockwood, a man who had somehow something happened to him. He becomes more than a human being, and that would have been a different aspect. Could have been a friend of Kirk's. all of these things.
But is
and
the super
lose
blood
this.
thing? Is that
Exactly. Then we get into the super
And
blood.
we brought him back to life. I mean,
is that a thing from the first?
No,
Okay.
no.
That was dumb.
And you were treading on.
That was dumb.
You were treading on Trek holy ground.
I mean, like honestly, it's just dumb.
Right.
If somebody has super blood like that, like why wouldn't you just use him to cure everything?
Exactly. And Star Trek 2 is holy ground. You should never tread over it again or trek over it again.
Okay.
Never
Very
trek
nice.
over it again. Never do that. And I think I like Star Trek 3 a lot. And not Star Trek 3, Star Trek Unbound? Star Trek?
Unwatchable?
No, Star Trek. Oh, that's terrible. I just totally wiped my brain.
Okay, well,
Whatever the third Star Trek Abrams Kelvin universe Trek that there was.
Into the Beyond.
No, Beyond. Star Trek Beyond. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Wow, Evan. Proud of you.
It's Into the Darkness is the
He's all grown up beyond the darkness of Into Bound.
Okay, so let's read a couple more comments.
Yes, please.
And then we're
Thank you,
wrap.
Matthew. Yeah, sorry.
Richard says the double axe handle, which again, that's the way to go.
And you gotta do that.
Matthew says Kirk was the master of the double axe handle strike.
Oh,
I
he
think
was.
it's why they had him be a lumberjack when Picard finds him in Star Trek Generations. I actually often want to hit Evan with the double axe handle. Mike says 20 years in the prison camp, he believes.
Yes, that's in a deleted scenes.
What's your favorite? Doug wants to know what our favorite hand weapon in the show.
Oh, well, I'm going to jump. Doug, is that right, Doug?
Doug Bolton, yeah.
Doug, Evan and I went to McFarlane's Toy Fair exhibit, and they actually had a Star Trek Discovery phaser, and I would say that was probably that beats any other Star Trek toy or prop replica that I have seen. We'll link that here in the McFarlane video that we shot. You can watch it. Yeah. It was $34.99. I think they said it was going to be. I don't know if it's out yet, but
we weren't allowed to show the prototype that they showed us, but
with all the sound effects.
But it was
things.
very, very cool.
But you can see the painted one that they had in the display case, and that was the best Star Trek phaser I had ever seen. And I think I have the next gen one from Playmates, and I've seen a couple of the other original Playmate ones that they've done, but that was bar none.
I think of all the things that we saw in the McFarlane booth, I think that's where we spent the most time.
Yeah.
Because Bob and Evan
were
going back and forth.
That was his name.
Just trading stuff.
They're going to release their first Captain Picard, and from season 3, they were
those look really cool.
And Captain Kirk from the original series figures. So you're going to have a McFarlane style figure of the big two captains.
Actually, you know what?
And
I've
you get
seen
in
some of them
Picard.
at the store.
Yeah,
I haven't seen them yet, but some people have gotten them.
Okay.
The one thing that was really cool about the Picard that you can see in the video is he has the Make It So hand.
The Make It So hand. They even put it. It's not attached, but they put it in the bubble where it would be.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was the most Trek I think we've had on the site until today.
Yeah. Last comment is that Matthew said the Discovery phaser was spectacular. He got a hold of the proto. Can't wait for it to come out. He said, I think it was 25 actually, but 35 could be right too.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
Richard says, I hate these movies. That's why I got it wrong. Doug says, awesome. And Michael says, from darkness to beyond to dead.
No, I liked Beyond. I really did. I thought there was some good ideas in there. I thought it was a little long at times, but I thought there were some good ideas.
I think in all of the movies there was something great in them that was, redeemable.
Right.
The first one's fun.
Until you start analyzing the time travel.
Yeah, if you just sit there and enjoy it.
Well, I
did the first 2 times.
So we should probably cut these things up. So we've got the Eaglemoss review. We've got Junkies Talk Trek.
I guess we're gonna cut this one up.
Trek Junkies. We do it all together, but this is maybe a little bit out of there. But I was having a conversation today. It's this need to try to push our nostalgia button, but just change everything we know. Right. So it's like, hey, we know that you love Star Trek, but we're just going to time travel, change everything that made you love it in the first place. We're going to give you the characters that you like and love, but just in a different way, and that should be enough for you. I don't understand why we can't just get not a reboot, not a change. Just give us what we loved when we were kids.
And I think Star Trek Discovery on CBS All Access, I think they do that. And I've watched it. Have you finished it?
No, I'm still. I got to get into it.
I've watched it all the way through, and at first couple episodes, I was a little like, all right, well, this is different. We're really establishing these characters. We have people in the opening title sequence that haven't even shown up yet. And then about 5 episodes in, you're like, this is Star Trek. This is the Star Trek I want.
Okay.
This is Star Trek I know, and I'm having a lot of fun doing this. Ooh, here's some new ideas. Here's an interesting take. Oh, and now we got hit with the nostalgia factor, and I like it, and I'm okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't because they were ramming down new versions of Kirk and Spock and all those other things. We were seeing it from a slightly different perspective. And if you like Star Trek, just enjoy it for the story and for the adventure that you're going on, and hopefully the lesson we're learning about ourselves as we look at from now to then, and how those parallel off one another. And that's what Star Trek's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I'd like Discovery, but I really like Discovery. And
I gotta get back into it.
It was so much fun for me to watch, and I wish we had a Discovery here.
Yeah.
Because that ship is just.
Isn't that one coming out?
I think so. I think it's on the new. It's on the new list.
Michael, sorry, bud, but we did the 2 earlier in the live stream, but we have another live coming up tomorrow. We're gonna have a giveaway for that one.
Yeah, we're gonna have an interesting giveaway if you're fans of Mask.
Yeah.
Steve, we know you are. We are going to have a mask giveaway tomorrow. I don't know what else we're going to give away.
Yeah, probably T-shirt.
We'll have giveways coming.
T-shirts.
Oh yeah, Alien. We got a big giveaway. Batman Day. We're going to do a giveaway.
Alien Day.
Definitely check out the lives. But all in all, Eaglemoss.
Yeah.
I may go back now and buy these.
This is the high
so
end.
I have them.
This is the high end. I wouldn't say too high end. This isn't.
No, it's mid-tier.
Yeah.
This is something where you may go out, you start the subscription, you buy 2 or 3 of them, and then your wife buys you one, your girlfriend for Christmas,
right? Or both of them buy you one.
Well, there you go. If you're lucky enough, like Kevin. Sorry, so sorry.
That's all right. They'll bring guy.
Sorry, Rick.
I'm just confused. It didn't make any sense.
Yeah, just we're messing with you. All in all. Great stuff.
Yeah.
Check in tomorrow, 12:30. Big shout out, Rick. He's coming.
Yeah.
Be prepared. He gets to see the new set. We got to fit 4 people back here.
I don't know how we're going to fit 4. We're going to have
to move the camera out.
Yeah.
So
we're good. Just step one way.
Guys, thanks so much.
Right there.
We will see you tomorrow.
See ya. Live long and prosper.